We are live.
All right. We are live on the YouTubes.
Give me a
All
minute
right.
here.
Recording the backups already, too. Just getting that going. All right. All right.
Who has popcorn?
I know, right? All right. If any of you are just listening to this for later on, if you want to play this as a commentary, which we're going to kind of run it as, welcome. So we hope you enjoy this presentation of Couch Potato Theater live. Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music live YouTube watch party. I'm excited, man. I know that that Alex Winter is doing his own, starting at about a half hour later than us with I think one of the writers. And I know other people have been doing it too. So a lot of interesting. I had to kind of avoid spoilers a little bit. Had to avoid spoilers on the internet there a little bit because people were watching it before I got up this morning. So, yeah, I know some of our UK friends and our Australia friends were watching it before we were, Kyle. So, a little test there of the Couch Potato Theater music. I like that, buddy. We're getting it there. All right. All right, just hang with us there, people. We're going to just shoot out a couple little social media blast here. And make sure that you guys stay tuned for after the movie because we're going to do a fun little reaction show. So there we go. Okay. Do a little Facebook here. All right. Kyle's getting us ready for the feed. All right. I'll check the YouTube here.
People are still getting their popcorn from the.
I know people are getting their popcorn. That might be just me there. I don't know who else is on there. I got to reset my sound now. All right. Get your movie queued up here and get my sound ready as well. All right. Do that. Connect my earbuds.
Nope. We got 3 people watching. Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna say hi to the chats. All right, there we go. Connecting.
This will be a most excellent podcast.
It looks looks like
Hope everybody's doing well. I think a few people are actually at the theater watching this tonight, too.
I know, right? I'm a little jealous of that.
I think I saw our buddy Johnny K might be at the theater watching this.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, I know our theaters are going to open up here soon. I'm guessing, I think within the next week or so. So I'm hoping that Bill and Ted will be there and I can go watch it. So, but seeing it at home is nice, you know. And just to let you guys know that are watching this, Kyle and I have watched this just a little while ago because we wanted to be prepared. And there, obviously, we'll be watching the game with you guys here with live commentary. And then make sure to stay after the show for a little Q&A and a little reaction to it and how it compares as part of the trilogy. So, yeah. All right. All right. Who's there? People saying hi. We're getting close here, guys. We're going to start here in about a couple of minutes, and we'll get our movies queued up and ready and paused, and then we'll do a little intro for our Couch Potato Theater live presentation of our Bill and Ted Face the Music watch party, and then we'll let you know when it's time to, if you guys are watching it with us on your own demand device, we'll count you down and you can watch it with us. So how's things going, Kyle?
They are going. I actually went to the movie theater today for another movie, which I'll talk about on Culture Clash next week.
Okay. Was it weird to be in a theater after all this time?
Not really. It was nice. It was nice to escape from everything else in the world going on.
Did you get snacks or anything?
I got a Pepsi.
Yeah.
Popcorn. I noticed the definite price increase at the concession stand.
Really? By like how much do you think the popcorn went up in the soda?
A large popcorn and soda was going to cost you $20.
Yeah, about $10 a piece. Yeah.
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 Candy
so
was
sodas. The large sodas were usually around $7-ish.
Yeah, large popcorn was about $8 usually.
Yeah.
Candy was up to anywhere from $8 to $10 a pop.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
And I noticed the ticket prices were off Fandango were $13 a piece.
That's not bad. I guess.
Normally they were running about 10 for anything before 5 p.m. and I went to a 4 o'clock show. So.
For those of you that are watching, by the way, feel free if you want to jump into the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them out there, and we'll obviously take your questions at the end for our reaction show here. So. Where are we at right now, Kyle? We're at 5. I got 5:30 on my time here.
Yeah, I got to start at 8:30, so I guess.
Okay. You want to do the intro and then we'll get in with the show?
I guess it's time to kind of do this thing. So here we go.
All right. Welcome to Couch Potato Theater here on the Fandom Podcast Network. Couch Potato Theater, we like to celebrate our favorite movies. And of course, one of the things that we love about Couch Potato Theater is we always talk about all of our favorite films that are rewatchable, those guilty pleasures, cult classics, box office blockbusters and failures. But we're doing something new, exclusive for our YouTube viewers here on the Fandom Podcast Network YouTube channel. This is an exclusive event. We're doing a Bill and Ted Face the Music watch party. I want you guys to follow along with us as we watch it. If you've got your own copy at home, get it queued up here. We're going to let you know when we're going to start. And we're going to do a little commentary and stuff along through the film. We're going to watch it. And then afterwards, stay around, hang around. We're going to do... here we go. Nice. I like that, Kyle.
I have one thing to say about that, Kevin.
Excellent.
Nice, very nice, very nice. But what we're going to do is afterwards, we're going to do a reaction show. Kyle and I are going to share our thoughts, and we haven't talked about this film with each other yet. So we're going to save those towards the end, but we are going to obviously tip the hat probably a little bit during the show, right, Kyle, as we do this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Two, if you are wondering what Kevin and I think of the first two Bill and Ted films, join us as well as our good friend Murph Murphy on a very special edition of Couch Potato Theater that came out this past Wednesday, which you can find on our FPNet master feed at fpnet.podbean.com, where we discuss everything going on Bill and Ted and our love for Bill and Ted, both Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey.
And I want to say hi to Alex in the chat there, one of my fellow Raider friends there, and also enjoyed this movie. He's watched for the second time. So what's up, Alex? I want to, first of all, let people know who we are and where you can find more information about us. First of all, my name is Kevin. I am one of the co-founders here at the Fandom Podcast Network, along with my buddy Kyle.
Again,
and
Kevin, and the only thing I can say about that is
excellent.
You're gonna have fun with that. I love that. But we did want to let you know we're somewhat new to YouTube, and if you're listening to this and you haven't subscribed, please do so on the Fandom Podcast Network on YouTube. But you can also listen to our podcast under the Fandom Podcast Network umbrella. We got a bunch underneath there, and it's a lot of fun. And our master feed is at fpnet.podbean.com. You can also find us on Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Kyle, what else? I know there's a few more out there.
You can find us on Tuned In, Amazon Music, working on a few others. We're getting there. We're getting there all over the place. Of course, Apple Podcasts, a little bit here, a little bit there. Again, the big one is our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. That way you get notified when we do these fun exclusive live events. Also to our master feed at Podbean, fpnet.podbean.com.
Great. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at Fandom Podcast Network. And you can also email us at fandompodcastnetwork@gmail.com. Again, my name is Kevin. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Spartan_Phoenix. Kyle, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AKyleW or on Instagram at AKyleFandom.
All right. Again, please, YouTube, just go ahead and click subscribe there. Appreciate it. We need some more subscribers and, help support us here at the Fandom Podcast Network. And again, jump on the live chat there. I'll be monitoring that, and I'll give you guys some shout outs, and we're going to be doing the commentary just shortly. But as Kyle said, make sure you check out that podcast that we did with our buddy Murph from Raider Fans Radio. We talked about the first two Bill and Ted films, and we had a lot of fun revisiting that. And we recorded that about maybe 3 weeks ago, before we actually knew when the release date of this movie was. It was soon after that we finally found out that it was coming out today, which is August 28th. Kyle, you purchased yours digitally. I did mine, right?
Yeah. In fact, I've learned today that you did a double dip of this movie, Kevin.
I did. I was so dedicated to this film that, first of all, I originally bought it on Vudu because I have an account with them and I got some free credit with them if I did. But there was a weird thing because I wanted to watch this through my what do you call it,
Apple
Kyle?
TV.
The
Apple
iTunes.
TV.
What?
On your Apple TV through
iTunes. The
iTunes.
Apple TV, but it wouldn't play Vudu. So, I just bought it on iTunes again. So, yeah. And I don't regret it because I want to support this film because this is a very historic thing here, Kyle. This was scheduled for a theatrical release, but because of COVID, it is coming on demand first. And I'm sure this movie would have done quite well over opening weekend, but this is kind of testing the waters in this new world that we have.
Yeah, I mean, this movie has going to have an interesting history when it's all said and done. Obviously, I consider this really our first true summer blockbuster release onto video on demand. Yes, we had Trolls, we had Bloodshot, we had Invisible Man, but both Bloodshot and Invisible Man did get a little bit of theater time. Trolls was kind of the first movie to kind of go straight to on demand, more of a kids film. We understand why it did well on demand. There was also The King of Staten Island, which was the Pete Davidson, Judd Apatow film. That was kind of a summer release. But I think this is one of those movies that we all knew was coming this summer. We were excited about and have been, one of these films that we've been just frustrated because of COVID delays and everything like that. And I think this is actually a perfect film to come out during this time frame. We need something a little lighthearted, something a little fun. So
Agreed.
I thought this was doing quite well for yourself there, Mr. Kevin Theodore Logan. Right.
Yes, Kyle A. Wagner Esquire.
Mhm.
So before we hit go here and cue things up, is there anything else you want to mention before we start this, Kyle? Because I say we get right into it.
I guess really there's only one thing to say, Kevin.
Excellent.
First of all, do you have the station break ready for later on? Because I thought we would play that at the end before we start the stuff. Do you know if we had that ready yet?
Oh, well, I have everything ready. I'm a
Okay.
professional,
All right.
Kevin.
Cool. All right. Cool, cool,
Unlike you and forgetting you have headphones.
cool. I know,
No.
right? I'm not used to wearing two different headphones because we did want to make a disclaimer here, people. First of all, thank you again for watching, and listening too. But we are not going to be obviously playing the movie for you to see here on YouTube or playing any of the sound because, well, that's kind of illegal. So, and besides, we want you to support Bill and Ted. We want you to go purchase your own copy or rent it and watch it along with us. If you're, you really want to support the, all the people that worked on this film, you pay for it, and that's what we want to do here and support that way. So, but that's why I have an earphone listening to it. And then I have another one so I can hear and talk to Kyle. And yeah, I got kind of mixed up earlier.
Just real quick too, because this is a commentary of this particular film. I have one more thing to remind people of. Spoiler warnings.
Yes, that's right. This is a full-on spoiler alert show. Well said, Kyle. Well, why don't we go ahead and get us queued up here, Kyle? Would you say?
I have been queued up and ready to go on. I'm ready to push the buttons on the phone booth, dial the right number, and dive into Bill and Ted Face the Music.
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, excellent. And when I say excellent, hit play, and we'll do that. Okay.
Okay, that works.
Okay, here we go. You ready, Kyle?
I'm ready.
You ready, you two?
I think they're ready.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, excellent. All right.
Can I just comment right out of the gate how fun it was to see the old school Orion film logo come up?
Oh, when you saw Orion on your VHS tapes, you were into something good. Maybe it was a ninja film or some like really cool B action film, or maybe it was some big hit too. So yeah, definitely. But when you started watching this for the first time, Kyle, did you go into with any expectations?
The only expectations I went into this was hopefully to have a fun movie.
Yeah. So we get a little I guess, what do you call it? They got the daughters kind of talking to each other over.
That actually surprised me a little bit coming out of the gate.
Yeah. And we get a flashback, of course, to the original, Bill and Ted. And then we get the bogus journey, where, was it Bill looks like, one of the ZZ Top cast-offs. But what I like about this intro, Kyle, is that you get to see the stuff that happens with the band and then how it kind of starts to fall apart, and they get a #1 hit here. But then when stuff starts to fall apart, you see their CD in the bargain bin for 99 cents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. This movie rewrites canon. Think about it, Kevin. It completely rewrites the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
It does, because do we just write that off into it's a different future?
Thanos. I'm saying Thanos right now.
I love the one CD cover art of one of their albums where it's just like the two chairs that are empty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like weird stuff's happening with time right now. So that kind of gives you that whole timey-wimey excuse to change whatever you want, and it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bill and Ted didn't mess with the time frame at all now, did they?
I mean, you get all these famous figures falling in on each other, and then you get Face the Music crashing down, and here we are at the wedding. Did you expect this? That
as soon as I saw who was getting married, I lost it, because I'm like, oh, isn't this just perfect for this? Even if it's not really, really creepy.
So yeah, we get Missy now marrying Bill's brother, right?
Yes.
Deacon, played by Beck Bennett from Saturday Night Live. And I like this scene right here where they're kind of explaining how everyone would have been related to who with all the different marriages. What was your first impression of the daughters? You know, how they were how they kind of looked, how they kind of acted.
Specifically Ted's daughter. She was like, she might be Keanu's daughter in real life.
Billy B, yes.
Yeah, Billy B. And of course, Samara Weaving as Thea. So, I gotta say, Samara does look quite a bit like her uncle in real life.
Yes, Hugo Weaving, of course, who
Yes.
Keanu has some, expertise with.
As we're about to get to a point where things start getting a little weird here.
Yeah, when you see them going up, getting ready to be the band at the wedding, you're like, oh, this doesn't look good.
And you figure out what the wedding is, and
Alex is still in the chat. Alex, let us know what you're thinking so far.
Yep, we would love to have you guys give your opinions as we're going. I don't know if you're watching it with us. We hope you are.
The chemical, physical, and biological nature of love. I like was it Billy's little bolo tie, which is I think it's a mahjong thing or a domino. I think it's a domino, yeah. Now, do you know what the instrument is that Keanu Reeves Ted is playing, Kyle?
No, I never can think of the name of this.
It's called a theremin, and many rock stars have used it before. I think Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin has used it. I know one of my favorite bands, LA Guns, they use it, but it's a very old instrument, and if used correctly, it's very cool.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going all in on this, so
especially now that you got Ted doing the full trumpet solo. And I don't know what Bill is saying with his warbling. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it gets really strange.
But yeah, Ted's dad's not having it. The cop, he's just gonna unplug it.
You know, he was making phone calls to the military academy.
Yeah. I gotta tell you though, the tuxes that Bill and Ted are wearing are pretty sharp.
Yeah, I could see you in that kind of maroon tux there, Kevin.
I did. I just noticed in the back that Bill and Ted's daughters are like dancing with the other girls. They're kind of showing them like a conga line. I just noticed that. What did you think of the actresses that were playing the new princesses that have different actresses coming back for this one? I thought they did pretty good. We have Erin Hayes as Elizabeth and Jayma Mays as Joanna.
I think they did fine. I think they filled in quite nicely for the part they had to play in this. I think they did a pretty good job of bringing back the cast that they could and the people who would want to come back. And we'll get to it a little bit. That I think they did a very good job of making sure other people, especially, were part of this film.
Agreed. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer, of the two in this case, I'm preferring Bill's wife.
I like that we get the scene right now where they're going to be going in for couples therapy. Are you familiar with the therapist here?
I've seen her before, but I can't think of where I saw her.
It's Jillian Bell. I first remember her. She's been in a lot of stuff, but I first remember her in 22 Jump Street. She was the girl that was kind of like the leader of the drug people. Okay. And she had that really weird, awkward fight with Jonah Hill that kind of was sexual. But she was in Rough Night. She's been in American Dad as a voice and a bunch of stuff. She's a stand-up comedian, actress. She's very funny.
Yeah. No, and like I said, it's interesting, I think, here, especially at this part, because I like the fact that we're kind of seeing what their day-to-day lives are like now.
Yeah, but the problem as they're going through this therapy session here is that they Bill and Ted don't really understand the boundaries between couples' intimacies with other ones, and they always include each other in everything.
Exactly.
They
I mean,
pay a
that's
little too much attention to each other and not enough to their wives.
no, I don't even know if it's that they don't pay too much attention to each other, not enough to their wives. It's just that they include each other in
Everything, yeah.
I'm like, there's ramifications there that we're not going to get to on this live stream.
But I do like how Bill and Ted are still supportive with each other, even if one of them
Yeah.
doesn't quite get it. So
I always love it too when Bill tries to portray himself as the smart one.
yeah, this is true. Yes. I was trying to see Erin Hayes, who plays Elizabeth, which is Ted's wife. I was trying to remember if I recognized her in anything.
She had a face that kind of like she looks familiar, but
yeah, she's been in They Came Together film, Children's Hospital, which is a comedy. I've heard about that one. She was in The Watch with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, but I'm sure this will be the film that will launch her into stardom. But Joanna Jama Mays, I've seen her in a lot of stuff. I just didn't know her by name. I like how therapist is like, yeah, we need to spend some time with just your wives now.
yes, Alex, they do share a brain.
Yeah, that's right. Alex says they share a brain. But
the only thing, Kevin, the only thing that separates you and me from sharing a brain is our football.
This is true. This is very true. I can't share a Chiefs brain. Sorry.
No sharing a Raiders brain. Sorry, but
so this is what I was hoping a scene that we were going to get. Because Kyle, I think there was a part in all of us that we wanted to see these guys mature.
Yeah.
Because obviously that hasn't really happened, but they're very likable guys. They're very loving. They're very caring. But, you know, and I got to say, too, I love the fact that we get huge knowledge on the girls' music.
Because they are savants.
Yes, because they're mentioning some famous concerts here. And the fact that they understood about his theremin playing, I thought was great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. She looks like she could be Keanu's daughter.
Yes, Billy. They definitely did study. I saw that interview, that Comic-Con interview with the whole cast that Kevin Smith hosted, and they made an effort to mimic them and pull out certain things they did.
It's interesting because in one of the iTunes extras, they interview the directors, and he talks about how these two reminded them so much of Alex and Keanu when they would get together and just talk. Yep. And that was what kind of sold them on these two.
And Alex said in the chat, he says, I can't stop thinking of Keanu as John Wick. And the same Samara Weaving said that in that interview. Yeah. It's like, I can't believe John Wick is here and doing this. But this is a scene I want to mention real quick, Kyle, because this is important. This is where it gets real. Ted realizes what's going on, and Bill senses, you know, things are getting real here and that they need to do something. And this is kind of a moving scene, especially when he's talking about how the music shop was going to give him, what was it, $6,400 for his Les Paul guitar.
Yeah, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, man. That's called growing up here. But, you know, that's one of the things with the Bill and Ted films. It's always felt like Ted was the one who's probably going to actually be a little more grown up faster than Bill would be.
Yeah, it keeps Bill grounded a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Bill's kind of they're both dreamers, but Bill's the really extreme dreamer, while Ted kind of always pulls him back just a little bit, but Bill keeps Ted from falling too deep into the serious side of things. Oh, here we go.
All right. This is where we get the visitor from the future, played by Kristen Shaw.
I love this quick scene between the daughters. She's like, dude, it's the future.
Yes. And they're eating Cheetos. Kristen Shaw is a comedian, very funny actress. She's been in a lot of stuff. I remember her from The Last Man on Earth. Do you remember that TV series?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a funny film. That was with Will Forte, and she was very funny in that.
Yeah.
But we find out that she has a famous father in this, and that, of course, is Rufus.
Yes, and I love this, how they're like, she's like, the High Council wants to see you, and the daughters realize their dads are in trouble.
Yes, they're like, whoa. They did a great job. Basically being younger versions of their fathers. I think it's great.
They did it was phenomenal. I love, we get a little bit more modern effects of the circuits of time here.
Yes. Yep. That little time machine pod is very cool.
And we're coming up, Kevin, onto might be one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Yeah. I love the future setting here. Kind of reminds me a little bit of downtown San Diego and where Thor lives.
There you go. Little Asgard scene, but here we go. We're seeing the original phone booth.
Yeah. And I was so happy that they got Rufus into this.
Here we go in 3,
George Carlin,
2, 1, and there we go. We get our moment. We get our Rufus hologram.
Yeah.
And of course, deciding that first time he meets Bill and Ted.
Yeah, and it's great because that serves as a monument to people of what that phone booth is and what Rufus did.
And a great little touch there by Keanu Reeves as he kind of waves goodbye to Rufus.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we have the High Council.
So we find out that the woman that is in charge here, she's actually Rufus's widow. Wife. I remember that actress. She was the mother in 2.5 Men.
Yes.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Holland Taylor's her name? She's known as the Great Leader.
Beyond dudes.
They said that. Did you kind of go, it's not going to work for these guys, is it? No. So this is where we find out that their prophecy didn't follow through. They played this huge concert. They were very popular. Band fell apart, and she's calling them out for playing a Tuesday taco night.
Yeah. I got to ask you, Kevin, in your first watching of this, did you start, it was about here for me that I started getting an inclination of other things.
Specifically, what do you mean? Because I think I know where you're going with this.
Involving the prophecy. I don't want to necessarily spoil
right. Yeah. You know, actually, no. At this time, I wasn't tipped off yet. I didn't quite get what you're going at, but I understand what you mean. So yeah. MP46. I was like, is that a sound bite? What is that?
It's a GIF.
Alex also said the actress is also on 30 Rock. Yes.
Yes.
Notice Bill's t-shirt has the two wild stallion heads.
Talk about the ultimate music shop just appearing before.
Oh, I know. There's a Les Paul straight ahead there with some great guitars, some Flying V's, an Explorer. Beautiful guitars over there. I gotta say though, I don't know. I think the future clothing in this future is actually pretty cool.
I just, you don't get better than the future that was in the original Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
What I wish they would have been playing that song during this.
That
was the
would have been
original.
cool. Yes, the
And
future song.
just the look of that and everything like that. But I mean, updating the technology and everything. But that would have been one of the nice little touches if at least that music had been playing in the background.
So they're talking about San Dimas 700 years ago and how stuff's not coming together. Basically, time's going to collapse and everything's going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Does that sum it up, I guess?
Yeah. We might be there right now. I'm just saying.
Now, what I like about this is they get 74 minutes or something like that, which I love the fact that this movie is just pretty much being like, it's supposed to be in real time.
Yeah. Just about. Yeah.
Because, the first two Bill and Ted films were about 90 minutes, maybe 93 minutes. This one falls just under. This one actually is the shortest one. Yeah. But, it doesn't need to be long. It's great,
Here's a great moment, too, where they give Rufus's watch to Bill and Ted.
Yes. Yeah. Because Ted's watch didn't quite work well, if I remember correctly, because he didn't wind it. Has beautiful guitars in the back there. There's a double neck guitar over there. I like Kristen Shaw's outfit though. Definitely looks futuristic.
Yeah.
Kelly is her name. That's right.
Yeah. Kevin, my name is Dennis, by the way.
Dennis. Hold on, not yet. Now, if I had one little minor nitpick right now, is I wish Ted had a cooler shirt on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely has a dad shirt on.
Yeah, I mean, at least Bill's got the cool, like, double-headed wild stallion shirt, but I wish that Ted had something a little cooler, or maybe a band thing on it, or something that they could use without licensing.
I think that's the other thing here too, Kevin, as it's just a minor knock, and it's not anybody's fault, but Keanu with that hairstyle, and I know he couldn't cut it because of John Wick, but yeah, there's a lot of times I'm like, it's Bill and John Wick.
But he's always kind of had the shaggy hair,
I know, but he's got to maintain, because of the filming of John Wick 4 going on and stuff like that. He had to maintain a very similar.
Well, he's got to grow the beard back first before that.
Yeah. Well, he might do that later in this film. And I guess too, for me a little bit, it is a little off-putting to see them so aged.
That didn't bother me. Not at all. I mean, I expected that, but this is where they have to decide. They're going to go into the future. They're going to choose, I think, a couple of years first, because they want to try to steal from themselves. They're basically half-assing this thing.
Now, there's a little touch coming up here because they're stealing the phone booth. But what I love, and it's a great little touch for in the film, Kevin, how much they bounce around in the phone booth in the circuits of time compared to the pod.
Right. Yep.
And you see
it's an older time traveling device.
But I mean, it's a nice little touch, because they even kind of, when they first get out of it for the first time, it's like, maybe we're a little too old for this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of looking at each other like, we don't remember it being this rough of a ride. And then all of a sudden.
I know, they are getting thrown around here. This is great.
And that landing.
Now, when I was looking up the filming locations, a lot of this was filmed in Louisiana. I know they did shoot some shots in California, and then on the sound stages in California as well. But they're coming on to their near future selves, 2 years, and they're playing a pool hall. What I find entertaining is how Ted looks, how he kind of changes his appearance with his facial hair.
Yeah.
I like how they're like, oh no, there's the other ones, the other Bill and Ted's. We got to run.
Bill sporting that hat.
Yes. The goatee there that Ted's got. So this is where we find out that things aren't going well with their wives. And they said that they messed things up and their wives left them pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yep. And we find out that older Bill and Ted not as cool.
That what?
They're not as cool.
Yes, they're not very cool. I like I like how they like start to get in a fight here with themselves.
Future Ted, a royal DICK.
Yes, definitely. I love how he's got the bandana going
Yeah.
on. He's black leather jacket. So yeah, they failed couples therapy, and that didn't go over very well with the wives. So they make the point that they pulled the princesses out of their own time to live with them, and they didn't live up to anything, and they disappointed them.
Well, and of course, we also have alcoholic Future Ted.
This is true.
Yeah, the low, low blow. That's a low blow.
When you mention that the daughters won't even talk to you, yeah, like are we going to call them current Bill and Ted, right?
Yeah.
I like how these guys I like how they start fighting each other and kicking each other.
Yeah, but Future Ted, very contentious. You know what?
Yes, definitely. And all of a sudden Gandhi just shows up. So you know stuff's going weird with time when Gandhi is just dropped in front of you.
And here we go where we actually find out in the film that she is Rufus's, that's her mother, the high.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, Dad said this, and
so Rufus's wife or widow now, and Kelly's mom, the grand leader here, she's setting another plan into play because she thinks that Bill and Ted are going to fail.
Yeah, exactly.
A little extreme, if you ask me.
Well, you know, future leaders aren't that enlightened as they like to think they are.
She's going to send a killer robot to kill them.
Well, can we be honest? Bill and Ted don't exactly have the best history with robots.
This is true. Evil Bill and Ted robots. Those guys are so funny.
This is a great suit and makeup job here for this
of the robot here. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to admit, I was wondering if most of the budget went into that robot look. So Anthony Kerrigan plays the robot, otherwise known as Dennis Caleb McCoy.
You named him after her ex, Kevin?
That's coming up, yes. He's one of those guys that's been in a lot of stuff. And you should have noticed him because he was in The Flash. He played in The Mist.
Yeah.
He was also in Barry, that series, which we love. But he's the guy that he's bald and he's very pale complexion, and he's played a lot of heavies, bad guys as well.
Oh yeah. Okay, I just observation. Samara Weaving has gorgeous eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's a cutie. So we get Kelly coming in the time pod back to Bill and Ted's house, and
current day Bill and Ted's house.
Yes, thank you. Current day, and the daughters, Billy and Thea, are asking where they are. This is one of the things I liked about this film, Kyle, is that these characters weren't secondary. They were like they're crucial to the story, and I'm really glad they worked that in.
Well, I think when they revealed that their daughters were going to be a part of this film, the idea was that they had to be a crucial part.
We talked about it on the Bill and Ted Couch Potato Theater that we were very pleased that the children did turn out to be women. And I think it was the perfect choice, especially the way that they're portrayed in this, and that they're key to the plot line in this movie.
Can you show me how to use the booth, Kevin?
But they want to help them with their music, so I love this.
Oh, this is a great scene. Current day Bill and Ted have come back to current day. Oh, no, it's back to the past now slightly. Yes. As they're coming back to the couples counseling after they had initially left.
They're going to try and fix things now, but it doesn't quite work out. What I like about this scene too is the scene right here too coming up where the therapist realizes that, wait a minute, you guys were born in 14 what?
Yeah. I love it. We're totally living in a van and I'm drinking way too much.
Yeah, I like how that gets teased a little later.
Like, yeah, we're despicable, pathetic, desperate, lying losers now. And
If you guys on YouTube, if you're here live, make sure you visit us in the chat and tell us what you think. They want to prove that they're not the losers
that they just saw they were.
They're not making it worse, right, Kyle?
Exactly. No, not at all.
The faces on their wives says it all.
But the face on the therapist is even better.
Yeah.
Older yous from the future. Kevin, what would you do if you were confronted with the older you from the future?
I would have a lot of questions.
The only I think you would only have one question, Kevin, at this point.
Yeah, what's that?
Is Aaron out of Australia yet?
Yeah, I know, right? Yes. And of course, I want to know how many Super Bowls the Raiders have won. That's true.
Oh, we already know the answer to that is a big old 0.
Yeah, right, buddy.
And then it's going to be more like, oh, well, that Mahomes guy has 10. I'm just
I don't think so. Okay, so that's the older them.
Yeah.
Did they play themselves as older them?
I think they do.
Yeah, they're waving them down. And the wives are like, "Yeah, we got to go."
We haven't time traveled in more than 2 decades.
I love that. That was good.
Well, it's like no big deal, you know.
The therapist was like, "We want you here 5 days a week." And that George Washington that drops in on her right there.
Yeah, and I just want to thank Alex for saying after saying I said Mahomes is going to win 10 Super Bowls, he actually wrote 20 Super Bowls in his comment. So I appreciate your confidence in Patrick Mahomes, Alex.
Yeah, I smell sarcasm in that chat. I got to say, I like the new time travel pod. It looks pretty cool.
It's the interior purple, isn't it?
Yeah, it just looks cool. You know, it looks like it doesn't need to be that big. And
this is where things get good with the daughters because now they're on their adventure.
Yes, they are on their adventure and they're going back in time to meet Jimi Hendrix. I got to say, they did a good job of making the actor that played Jimi Hendrix look like Jimi Hendrix, but they also got his rhythm section to look like his rhythm section. The guys that played bass and guitar.
And I love their faces right there. They're just like in utter awe of.
Yes. I love how they're just totally going fangirl over Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, Alex hit it right on the head. Mork's egg. That's what the new time machine reminds.
That's right, it did. Mork's egg. Well done, Alex. Oh man. I like the fact that they went to one of the best guitarists, if not the best guitarist of all time. And he's kind of like the Billy the Kid of the first film, you know?
A little bit,
You get him on board first. You convince him.
But they really don't get him on board first now, do they?
Well, they have to do a little convincing, but once they convince him.
Oh, yeah. They can go back past a little bit more.
Now they're in New Orleans, 1922, and they're going to meet up with a young Louis Armstrong, classic trumpeter, singer. What's funny is that they're actually shooting this in Louisiana.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what Kevin mentions Louisiana, just a quick hope all of our listeners out in Louisiana are doing well after Laura went through. So just
Yeah,
our
horrible
thoughts are out
storms
with
there.
you.
Yeah.
This guy does a good job of sounding like him.
Yeah, he does. I love how the daughters they're so enthusiastic and they're getting into all the music. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that they're not just into one type of music.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just like I said, they are true savants of music as
And they're paying respect to them too. You know,
Yeah.
they're bowing down to him. So, you know,
I love this. They're showing him Hendrix playing the guitar on an iPhone.
yes.
Recorded on an iPhone. You know?
Yes.
That might crack the time stream just a little. I'm thinking. I don't know there.
Okay, so is Louis Armstrong then? He's the Billy the Kid. He's the one they have to convince first.
Yeah. Well, they have because they can't get Jimmy. They use him to get Jimmy to.
That's
join.
right. Yeah. Okay. That's a good way to put it.
Oh,
okay,
this is
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah,
so they're in California. Is it San Dimas or was it just
San Dimas? Oh, my bad.
Oh, play it again, Kyle. There you go. Yeah.
The joys of a soundboard that uses certain keys.
Okay, so they're in San Dimas, but they're in was it 5 years from now?
Yeah, this is 5 years from now.
And they're in a nice big mansion with gold records, and you're thinking, oh, it's us. It's the future us's.
And they're successful and British.
I thought this was so funny.
The outfits they are wearing. I mean,
oh my gosh. So that kind of wavy, rocky hair that Bill has and those tight blue and red spandex pants that Ted has is so funny. And Ted's got the top hat on.
oh.
Why do you have English accents? I wonder whose house that really is. I'm kind of curious.
I would love it if it was actually Dave Grohl's house. You know, it's not
being filmed in Louisiana. Probably not. I'm gonna try and find that out.
I'm sorry. That top hat might be like the greatest Keanu Reeves outfit ever.
Why do I sense future cosplay at Dragon Con when we do get to go to Dragon Con?
John Wick needs a top hat.
I know, right?
Kevin, when you suit up for Wick next, you must add the top hat.
Add the top hat. There we go. Yeah. So they're going to play them some music. We don't get to hear it, but we have to assume that it's someone else's that maybe owns the house. I like those pigtails too that
Ted has.
That Ted has, yeah. So someone's arriving at the house. You think they would have noticed the phone booth?
Hey, you know, rock stars, man, rock stars.
So current Bill is very
Emotional?
overwhelmed by the song that they just heard in the headphones. So are they basically are future Bill and Ted trying to frame current Bill and Ted? That's what's happening right now?
Yeah, well, they're basically what they're trying to do is set their lives right by stealing
music from someone else.
From a particular person who we'll get to in a minute.
Tally ho. And they're supposed to be 55-year-old Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
At least that's what the subtitles say on the television.
I love this. Here we go.
Who is this that opens up in the front of the door?
That would be one Dave Grohl. Who many people consider one of the greatest musicians of the modern era.
Yes, and he just says, "What are you doing in my house?"
Yeah, I love it. Who we have, as Alex said in the chat, Balding Ted, or Balding Bill, I should say.
I love the beer belly gut that Ted has.
It's obviously not beer belly gut; it's vodka
Vodka gut, yeah. And Alex is like thinning. Ted's like, no, I'm not going to slow down on the vodka. Why
How
haven't
do
you
you
taken?
take the song back to Sandimas? And the hand movements and the body gesture.
I love how each version of these Bill and Teds are just jerks in one way or another.
Yeah.
They were totally squatting in David Grohl's house. So they refuse, current Bill and Ted refuse to take the music that is not theirs to use it as the ultimate song to unite the world.
Yes.
I tell you that like vodka gut, it looks realistic. Uh-oh. Balding Bill, as we call it, pulls out the gun.
Come on, we know Keanu is a method actor. That was a real gut. He's just that dedicated to getting back in shape afterwards.
Yes, this is true. They're like, life is hell. You got to change it. And the cops are showing up.
Not just any cops, mind you.
No. Ted's dad and brother.
No. You mean Deacon's son-in-law and Ted's brother?
My brain is about to explode. But yes, pretty much. Oh my God. I cannot wait to see people cosplay this. Oh, they're going to shoot current Bill and Ted. I got to say, though.
We got to do the thing.
What's that?
We got to do the thing.
What thing?
The thing. Remember? They're going to do the thing?
The thing. Oh, that's right. The thing. The buckets on the head.
And we should podcast with the next live stream. Buckets on the head. That's all I'm saying.
Buckets on the head last time. Buckets on, as we say in the cosplay world.
Oh.
I got to say, I was pleasantly surprised with how well Alex and Keanu just got right back into the characters.
You know what? There are times I think that for Alex and Keanu, Bill and Ted are just like inner parts of them. It's just like they might be a little like this in real life too at times, and
right.
So they're just extreming it up a bit.
Well, obviously they've remained friends all these years and they work well. But here's the evil robot. I like how he has his own little time travel pod that just wraps around him.
I'm like, dude, what's that? This would be a good time to break out the John Wick Ted. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know. Yeah, let's get John Wick Ted.
And I love this. They transport, and there goes Dad in the SWAT van.
Yeah, he lasered the dad in the SWAT van.
Wait for it. We're about to see it. Kevin's favorite. I love this. Like, oh crap.
I love how the robot's like, what did I just do?
And now we're back to the girls and Jimi Hendrix.
Yep. Hendrix, meet Armstrong.
Psychedelic.
This is a great scene. I love that they're getting all these music legends. Huh. We should have gotten older Louis. So young Louis Armstrong's going to prove he is who he is.
Yeah. Because they're making the most extraordinary band.
This is true. It's very true. As he busts out the trumpet.
Out of nowhere. I don't know where he was keeping that trumpet, so.
And Jimmy seems impressed.
He dug that jive.
So this is Vienna 1782. They've time traveled to. I was like, which musician are they meeting up with now?
You kind of wish that it would have been a face we'd already seen.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That would have been just fun. I think that would have been kind of cool to do.
But they had to kind of pick new musicians, so
Oh,
I
I
think that
know.
was kind of cool. So
Oh no, I agree. I mean, I just thought that when that first popped up, I'm like, are they?
but we're getting Mozart. But this is where Jimmy's in. He's in
Yeah.
on this now. He's part of the crew.
Yeah. And here we get coming up, we get the Jimmy Mozart duet.
Yes. And I love that Jimmy's got his amp ready inside the time travel pod.
I thought he used the time travel pod as the and now as we get a little Jimmy Mozart going on.
I love
here.
this little Jimmy Mozart jam. Mozart's intrigued. I love this. He's like, wait a minute. All right, I'll start the jam out. See if you can keep up, as they would say. I love Billy and Thea in the back rocking out to this.
Yeah, I know. Oh, look at Louis even.
Louis Armstrong's getting into it too. I love that.
Honestly, this might have been my favorite music moment in the film.
Yeah, this is very cool. Legends jamming together.
MTV wishes they could have that unplugged.
Oh, I know, right?
Oh, wait. Does MTV still do music?
No, they haven't done music since 1995, I think.
I was going to say 85, but that's a whole other thing. Okay, here we go. I think my favorite future versions of Bill and Ted.
Yes, this is what, 10 years in the future?
Yeah.
I think it is.
And
they're in prison.
Jail.
And I like this little music jam they're doing with the prisoners. But boy, have they bulked up in prison and gotten some nice prison tattoos.
I think it's Ted who has across his chest. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love how Bill's got Wild Stallions and Heinous on the bottom. God, their makeup is done really well for their bulked up prison bodies.
Is that a song? Yes. Well, it's a little on the dark side.
Looking at all the tattoos on them, it's pretty funny.
I love his hair.
Uh-oh, they're going to get caught in prison.
Is it a song?
I wonder how long it took them to get into those prison bodies.
Again, Keanu, look at the body transformation Keanu put himself through for this movie. The art, the dedication, and the art.
I know, right?
Has for this film.
And then the evil robot shows up.
I love that. Freeze, Preston, Logan.
So prison Bill and Ted get in the way here to interfere, and they start beating up the robot. So he
those are the worst us's yet, dude.
So we get the great leader watching this on video, and
then the babes, the princesses show up.
Yeah, they show up with their older selves, and Bill and Ted push them back into their own version of the time machine. Gets them out of here.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it.
And then Bill and Ted get into their own one, and they're trying to get out of here. Prison Bill and Ted are so funny. Most non-triumphant. The prison gang's beating up the robot.
Okay, I have to admit, I did not see this particular artist coming.
Yeah, so they are way back in time. I forgot the date, but there's a
Like 2300 BC.
yeah, a Chinese woman who is very good with the flute.
Linai.
But Mozart is like, whoa, I know, I've heard of this woman. She is very good.
Well, the girls call her by name too.
Yes.
And who knew that Mozart could speak Chinese
I know, right?
and play the flute?
Yeah, Mozart's got the flute going down. It's like, hey, you want to be in our band? She was an easy sell, Kyle.
Yeah. I think though North Africa 11,500 BCE would be even a easier sell.
And then I'm kind of curious why they went way back in time to get this drummer when I probably would have gone to like early 1970s John Bonham. That's what I would have done. You know,
okay.
pulled Led Zeppelin's drummer right out. That's who I would have gone with. What about you?
I'm like, how do they know about this drummer?
They probably could have gotten Tommy Lee to play himself.
Well, they did get can play himself though in this film.
So yeah, a lot of time shenanigans are going on here.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth just showed up in the neighborhood. The pyramid.
While she's looking at the Sahara Desert in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So the communication device that Kelly has looks kind of like one of those screen protectors you would put on your iPhone.
Yeah, and I love how she's like, well, I know you'd probably send the deadly robot after me, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here we go. A little Kid Cudi action.
I didn't know who Kid Cudi was. Did you?
I am familiar with Kid Cudi, yes. I am impressed how he channels his inner Haley Stoddard throughout this film.
Yeah, he rocks some science knowledge.
No. He definitely rocks the time travel knowledge. Like
yes.
Like I said, I didn't realize Haley was a consultant on this film.
Alex, if you're watching, did you know who Kid Cudi was? I was kind of curious because I did not. I wasn't familiar with his work.
Yeah, I love this whole thing where they're talking about the time thing, and it's just like they're all speaking the same language, and the girls are impressed with his time speak.
So they're basically trying to get this band together to make this music to help save, and they're trying to, I guess, find their dads, right?
Yeah. And oops,
evil robot. Lasers, all of them.
Bogus. And even now the high leader sees it, and the look of horror. And Alex says he has no idea who Kid Cudi was.
I didn't either. So the robot feels pretty bad because he was supposed to just do.
Yeah, and I love it. Oh no.
So they're all dead and they're in hell.
Now, watching this is one point I wish we would have got. I kind of thought we would see death here, like him recognizing the girls.
Right. I was going to kind of question why the girls would be in hell. Dead, maybe, but maybe you have to go to hell first and then prove why you shouldn't be in hell.
Yeah, or maybe it's, maybe it's all part because they were killed by the robot.
Right. But I love this version of hell. You get the hell gates opening up, and there's fire and flames and then weird demons flying around. That's just a weird scene, seeing all those famous musicians in hell.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Mount Doom, actually.
Yeah. Now here's where things get kind of heartwarming.
Yes. This is where current Bill and Ted go to, what is it?
2067.
95-year-old Bill and Ted?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Because they're kind of in an assisted living home right now. I thought the makeup jobs for the old Bill and Ted are pretty good. And they see the pictures of the princesses. Oh,
And we
that's
find
where
out
you-
that the version of Joe and Liz are the ones they steal the phone booth.
Yes. Yeah, they had to show that. God, old Ted looks awesome.
Uh. I'm getting tired. They're getting timey-wimey on me here, Kevin.
Yeah, they are. They kind of talk like Gandalf, like in riddles. You know.
And they find the song.
Yeah.
The name of the song is Face the Music.
So they hear the music.
Their guitar playing on the music, mind you.
Yes. And then they're given what do you call it, a thumb drive, right?
Yeah, flash drive.
The music on a flash drive with the music on it. So at this time, were you pretty sure of what was going to happen towards the end, or was it still a hunch for you?
I was pretty sure that we were going to have that involvement in a pretty big way.
Okay. At this time, I knew something was afoot at the Circle K.
Yeah, something amiss is afoot at the Circle K, Kevin. This is kind of a heartwarming moment here where Bill and Ted talk to their old selves.
It is. They thank them, and it is moving. I do like it. And that's one of the things I've enjoyed about this movie is that they do have these heartfelt scenes, and you kind of see them slowly maturing a little bit more.
Yeah. I think it's definitely more poignant between the two Teds.
Yeah. I would agree. And the makeup on that is so good.
That's pretty much on par with the level of Chris Evans' makeup at the end of Avengers Endgame.
This is true, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that they hugged themselves.
This is when Doc Brown needs to the space-time continuum.
Well, if this was the time rules of Time Cop, they couldn't touch each other.
Well, are they the time rules of Endgame? Which time rules are they? There's so many.
It depends on what you're watching. But Bill and Ted was mentioned in the Avengers, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hot Tub Time Machine was mentioned in the Avengers. Come on now.
That's right. Hot Tub Time Machine. All right. So how are they going to unite the whole world with this song?
The phone booth is gone.
Yep. Their phone booth. Where'd it go? I think they get visited very shortly here, though, was it the robot?
Yep. Very shortly, like now.
Now, there he is. Freeze. Preston Logan. We got to get back to the present, he's saying.
Yeah, now they have the song, and then like, it's like all of a sudden he's like not menacing, and he's like, "Wait, you have the song?"
Yeah, but then he feels bad because he's supposed to kill them.
Well, no, he's like, mistakes have been made.
I just killed everybody that you love. Like, no, we're fine. Let us go.
Murdering family.
I like how he says, I lasered your daughters.
And if they thought he reacted bad to losing his puppy.
I love that. You sent our daughters to hell. I like how they're like, you got to shoot us. You got to laser us so we can go save them.
They're like, we can't shoot you. You have the song. And then they break the... Yeah.
You got to kill us now. I like how they're getting ready to get shot.
I can't.
But he's like, wait a minute, I can't. He's like struggling. He's sad.
Hey, we just got a little join in by from his phone booth. Mr. Cat Cedar is in the house.
What's up, Cat? Like how he says the robot's having a nervous breakdown.
Can't do it. I'll shoot myself. Yes, it's like I know. And the girls arrive back just in time, and they all die right in front of the girl.
Their wives see both the robot and Bill and Ted die. Now they're in hell. They've been here before. They can get out, right, Kyle?
they might have some connections. But all of a sudden, the robot shows up. Yeah, I was like, yeah, how does a robot die?
How can a robot even die? Robot's like, can I come with you?
And they're like, well, he did kill us.
I gotta say, Anthony Carrigan is very good in this. Wait, my name's Dennis.
I have a name. Dennis McCoy.
Dennis Caleb McCoy.
Background dancer.
It's like, we don't need to know your name. Hurry up. I swear I can see that being like Mount Doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Robot, I don't even know, dude. Those weird like demon creatures. So we get the great leader here. Bill and Ted are dead, but stuff is not working out as they planned. Kyle, what's going to bring them together? Will our heroes be saved? Okay, these demon guys right here, these weird like demon guys, these are the actual writers.
Yeah.
And they have
yeah, and I love it. Wait, that's a robot in hell.
Yes. They also had cameos in the last two films. In the second film, they were part of the seance. And in the first film, they were at the singing the ice cream song to Napoleon.
Do we notice Rufus's daughter's phone works in hell and she can speak to her mother?
Well, you know, it's a timey-wimey thing.
You named him Dennis after my ex?
I do like the hell set here. This is pretty funny. Yeah. But and see the big skull over on the right, everyone going into the mouth of the skull.
Doesn't the skull look a little like Groot?
It does a little bit, yes. And it's like, what are they doing in hell? What are they digging? Just bigger holes? Is that like
it's hell?
There
are no explanations in hell.
Is there any? Is that ideal hell? Just digging ditches? It's like, Dad's in hell.
I know. I love this. Hi, Ted. I was wrong. You're here. It was all true.
Yeah, he understands. Yeah, they did go back in time.
And save reality.
Yeah, he understands they got to write this song. That
he's like, oh, wait, everybody. Is that new?
Now, during this time, I'm like, okay, where's Death? Show me Death. Death's got to be here.
I love that. He has this apology moment with Ted, and Bill's like, thanks, sir. I wasn't talking to you, Bill.
I know. He's still a little short with him.
Kid Cudi.
I am now a historical figure.
Kid Cudi is like not exactly a historical figure, but yeah.
I'm kind of curious of what Kid Cudi's music is.
I guess we know what Kevin's doing on YouTube after this podcast.
I like the response that Mozart had to the Dennis Caleb McCoy robot.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I lasered you all.
My name.
It's like, okay, Dennis, we get you. Move along. So we find out that Death is mad at the boys.
Yes. And the boys are kind of mad at Death, too.
Yes,
So.
it's kind of mutual. Yeah.
You know, this is almost kind of pulled from the ending credits of Bogus Journey, though.
It is.
I love this. Is he playing hopscotch?
He's cheating at hopscotch.
Yeah.
He is Death. He does cheat. That's his thing, right? Love they're saying, be sweet as they go talk to Death.
Just whack with the tether ball.
So good to see. Is it William Sandler? Is that his name? No.
Sadler.
Yeah.
Kevin.
William Sadler. He's great.
Kevin.
Yes. Talk to the hand.
Yeah.
Talk to the hand.
There's one of the extras on iTunes that you haven't watched yet, Kevin, is Death giving a tour of his memorabilia.
Oh, cool. I'll have to watch that. So I guess there was a what do you call it? A warrant? Is that what it is?
A restraining order.
Restraining order. That's right. Restraining order was put out on Death.
Yeah. Well, he did try to take the name Wild Stallions, and you know, I who does a 40-minute bass guitar solo?
There's few people that can get away with that. Geddy Lee maybe from Rush.
Michael Anthony maybe from Van Halen.
Yeah, or Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, but not Death. I don't know if Death can warrant a 40-minute bass solo.
Yeah. I love Alex's comment here. He says this robot suit looks a little Tronish.
Yes, this is true. Little love to Tron there. MP46. I love how Death is like doing the little imaginary violin, like, oh, sad story.
I feel like if I say MP46, you're gonna say I sank your battleship, Kevin.
I know, right? Death is so funny in this one. You know, I'm wondering if they had to
wait. Hold on. We were just talking about bass players. The girls are like, he's the most rad bass player ever.
Yeah. Do you think they had to talk to William Sadler ahead of time and say, look, we need you for this because we're going to write a very important scene in the movie that requires you to be in it?
I from what I've seen of the little extras and one of the things William Sadler says, I don't think it was much to ask him to come back. I think it was like, oh, okay, twist my arm, ow.
I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff. Star Trek fans obviously known him as Luther Sloan from Deep Space Nine, Section 31. But he's also like, you know, the lead villain in Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Would you say those are probably what he's mostly known for, that and Bill and Ted?
Yeah, I would think so.
Don't fudge with me. But this is where the girls are trying to butter him up a little bit to get him to, you know, to change his mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Death has a little diva to him.
The thing that's cool though is that the girls, the daughters here, they know all of his music.
Yeah.
You know, they know all the parts to all of his music, and he appreciates that, you know. And of course, this is a little foreshadowing, Kyle, as to what's going to happen. Because this was the part when I kind of started to realize something was going to, like, you know, happen at the end. Because we realize that the real musicians are the daughters. That's just, you know, their knowledge is awesome and they know it well. And right now they're letting Death know how important he is and how, you know, how good he is at what he does.
They're playing up to him just enough.
I'll tell you right now, I want that leather jacket, Wild Stallions. It's hanging on his wall. That thing's pretty darn cool. I got to watch the special features you were talking about of all of his memorabilia because he's got a lot of cool stuff there. Bill and Ted are coming in. Girls want them to apologize. And the apology comes. That's one of the things that I learned as I was growing up, Kyle, is that when you have an argument with someone, just like what Bill and Ted have here with Death, sometimes it takes, even though you may not feel like you should come forward first, if you come forward and apologize, kind of breaks the ice a little bit, and then the other person usually reciprocates, you know?
Yeah.
So. This is where Bill and Ted says, will you please reconsider joining Wild Stallions? Hey, it's a nice little moment. I love
the girls.
I know.
Just like
William Sadler is just great in this.
I love how he even gets to kiss in on Ted.
Yes. The girls are like, oh.
Then we even get a little Wild Stallions air guitar.
Yes. I love it.
I love it. They're using the SWAT truck to get back.
Yeah. Someone else wants to come in. Oh, it's the robot.
It's Dennis Caleb McCoy.
Dennis Caleb McCoy's like, I want to come.
He got lost.
Stepping on everyone's toes. And up goes the truck. I liked how they're all getting like pushed around inside the SWAT truck.
Yeah. I love this. I love when you said it's less rock, it made me want to rock.
You've got to earn the right to rock, Death says.
Yes. That's right, by the way.
It's true, yeah. This is where Kid Cudi gets very scientific.
Kid Cudi's channeling his inner Haley Stoddard. I'm going to say it again.
Yes, and my brain kind of started to explode a little bit.
It gets worse before it gets better.
Yes, this is a very... Are they hitting like dead souls on the way up? It looked like their bodies were like getting in the way.
And I love this. We're back to Missy and Deacon.
Yes. There's a Roman soldier.
As Deacon says, kissy Missy.
Yes. Kissy Missy.
Which was his dad's nickname for her. That's
just
saying, yeah, okay. And arriving at MP46, we have, I have to say, this is quite the crew over the years Bill and Ted have hung out with.
Yeah. Would you say it's the motley crew?
I think we're even past motley. The eclectic crew.
So basically, it's going to be a parking lot, concert we're getting ready to see here.
In fact, Kevin, I'm going to go so far to say that the only group that might be more eclectic is the Electric Mayhem.
The Muppets, Electric Mayhem. Well played. I love that we get the Eiffel Tower right behind the U-Haul truck.
And then it disappears.
Yes. And then there is the robot.
Yeah.
He's got the music.
And this is where things start getting interesting.
Yes. MP46 is the location. I think was it Alex said it, right? It says milepost 46. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's where they're gonna rock out. So Bill and Ted are confessing they don't have the song to their daughters. And they apologize.
It's Ted who no, Alec. Yeah, you're right. It's Bill. Maybe both of them. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, they both realize it's their daughters that have the talent. Not only have they gathered the talent, they have the music knowledge.
Yep.
Preston Logan. There you go. 7:17 p.m. It's you, girls. It was you the whole time.
Yeah. I love how they go, what is it, dads?
So basically, if you think about it, Kyle, not only are they know music knowledge, they're kind of like music producers.
Yeah.
You know, the way that they've put the talent together, and obviously, you know, as we see here, they start to kind of be the conductors as well.
Yeah. I love it. There happens to be a Guitar Center truck there nearby.
Of course, you get a sponsor out of it as well, and you get all the best, you know, items that you need out of Guitar Center. I've shopped there plenty of times myself. I've purchased a few items from there myself.
As Ted is questioning how the song's going to unite the world and the time.
Yeah. The one thing about Guitar Centers that are cool is that sometimes they're really cool museums, especially the one down in Hollywood. I think they reopened it too. They always have a lot of really cool guitars that were owned by famous guitarists and stuff.
What about tambourine?
The robot wants to play tambourine. He wants to dance. He wants to dance.
Admit it, Kevin. You want a Death Dentist show.
I know. Well, I'm looking at all the amplification they're putting up and the guitars and stuff. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
DW drums for the drummer. I like that. Marshall Stack, of course, for the for Jimi Hendrix.
Most loaded Guitar Center van ever.
Yeah. And we get the wives, the princesses showing up, Joanna and Liz. Aw, they're reunited.
Alex brings up the point there was a Circle K in the background.
Yes, that's right. Good call. Oh, I like the reunion there. This was a really cool idea of distributing music to everyone around the world through different times.
Yeah.
So they can all do this together.
Yeah. And here we go now where we have the problem of everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah. They are not playing as a band.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And here we go. Kid Cudi about to drop the knowledge again.
Do we need individual S's to take
I can't repeat what he's saying.
I know, and you can tell that Bill and Ted are just not getting it.
Yeah, I don't know, like Bill, but Ted's like, we have like 4.5 minutes until the disaster happens.
The time reality thing, I guess, is all about to collapse and implode on itself, I guess, is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Mozart's like, what's going on?
And Death just back there jamming away.
Yep. Death is just waiting for his cue to play.
It's a Saturn. We have a Saturn sighting.
Alex in the chat or anyone else, if you could play an instrument and be good at it in a band, what would you want to play? Kyle, what about you? If you could actually play any instrument, what would you play?
Guitar.
Guitar? Yeah. It's a good choice. I've done guitar and bass. Both are fun.
It'd probably be drums after guitar.
Yeah. Kid Cudi's like, get into the booth.
I love this station.
The shout out to station is great. I love that. Okay, so this is where the girls are kind of be the conductors, going to kind of put them together.
Yeah.
Get the drummer start playing first, lay down the beat. All right, Death going on the bass.
Yeah, Death's going a little thing, but they remind him of something he's played, and it slows it down.
It's always good to have the rhythm section, and the rhythm section is the bass and the drummer working together to lay it down.
You need the number for the infinite.
It's a long number they have to type in there.
It might be the infinite number.
I want to stay here and dance, Robot says.
Dennis says.
Okay, so Dennis is kind of like the death of this one. You know, he's stealing every scene that he's in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or, well, you had Evil Bill and Ted as well in the second one. They stole some scenes. All right, Jimmy kicks in here.
I'm like, I love this part. They keep putting in the number.
Yep. Getting ready to sync everything up. Get the trumpet going. Crowd starting to form.
Marie Antoinette there.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, press the infinite button. Yeah, there we go.
Should have just hit the infinite button.
I love how Ted has to whack it every time to get it.
Yeah, a little Han Solo slap on the Falcon action there.
I don't know how we get the individual I love yous for maybe the first time ever.
Yeah, this is so cute.
There is one other thing, Kevin. I've said this since the first Bill and Ted. The antenna on the phone booth should still have pudding cans on it.
Or gum holding it together.
Yeah.
But you'd think that they would have repaired it, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And now we see that Bill and Ted and the princesses in the infinite quantum realities, giving everybody instruments.
Yeah, distributing instruments to everybody, including Missy.
Yeah, Missy and Deacon with a sax and ukulele.
Okay, I got to tell you, Kyle, when I watched this for the first time earlier today, I was starting to get a little choked up here.
What about you? Moment. Not choked up, but I was like, I see what they were doing here.
Are you dead inside? Come on, man. You didn't like shed a little bit of a tear, maybe?
There was no tears in me. I'm in Florida. All the moisture just gets pulled out of my body anyway.
And they're back up on stage together. Fathers and daughters and mothers.
And Joanna's got the guitar, Kevin.
Yes, this is true. Now, what's interesting is I know Alex doesn't know how to play guitar. He's faking it okay. But Keanu knows how to play a little instrument because he used to be in a band called Dog Star where he played bass back in the 90s. Remember. So he knows a little bit about instruments. And there's the song.
Little kitty Cuddy here.
Countdown to 7:17.
One.
Jam, Bill and Ted. Yeah. I think this is the movie that is premiering at the right time, Kyle.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We need a movie like this. Bring a little happiness, you know. It's been kind of a stressful world lately with COVID.
Bye, Kid Cudi.
Bye, Kid Cudi. Thanks for sharing this, dropping the science knowledge.
Yeah. Time's resetting itself. Jesus is working that cowbell like it's Christopher Walken.
A little flashback to the baseball game.
Dennis working those steps, making Christina Aguilera proud.
I know, right? I was really pleased and fulfilled seeing this for the first time earlier today and how this film came together like this. Bill and Ted jamming right here, creating the perfect energy, restoring everything to normal. Everyone playing together made the difference.
And it worked. Now, did it kind of throw on you that the ending just felt a little sudden here?
Not really. I was kind of expecting it, but I did want to mention during these credits, they show all of these people jamming out and rocking. I think they put something out on social media. If you did film something, you might get in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was on a Bill and Ted fan site. I was checking out some of the Facebook groups, and there was someone that said they used my image in it, and she posted a picture. And I think it was the girl that was in Australia, in front of the Opera House. And you may notice some famous people in this montage here, Kyle.
Yeah. There's a couple faces. It goes so quick, but I thought I saw a couple faces I recognized.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you look closely, you will see Weird Al Yankovic.
I did see Weird Al, yes.
And I think it's Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society and also Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist. I think he's in there as well. And there's a couple other famous people that I couldn't quite identify. There's Weird
I saw
Al.
Weird Al, playing the accordion.
But Mark Isham did the music. He used to do a lot of music videos back in the day. I think he directed the famous November Rain, Guns N' Roses, and several others. And I think some of these people are famous. I just don't recognize all of them. But I thought this was a nice montage showing everyone around the world submitting them dancing and playing music. And you get some Bill and Ted cosplayers as well. So just so you guys know, there is a end credit scene, and we'll get to that in a minute. But so Kyle, watching this for the first time, well, give me a couple of your thoughts.
I enjoyed it. I think one of the things is, and this is probably my own fault, I might have needed to go back and watch the other two a little closer to when this came out, because it took me a little bit more time with this one to get into the Bill and Ted energy mindset.
What do you mean exactly?
You just getting back into that, what I call the Bill and Ted flow, how the two movies, Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, kind of had that energy to it. I guess because they're a little older. And remember what I said earlier about that was kind of throwing me there for a little bit. Just to kind of get back into that classic Bill and Ted energy took me a little bit longer with this one than it did.
I get that. I want to mention something Alex said. He says, I'm glad the robot didn't have too many lines. It could have been like Jar Jar, a little boring. Yeah, now, I think they wrote him really well in this. He had, the stuff that he said was in there, boom, done and funny. I think my first experience earlier today, Kyle, was a little bit different than yours. I got thrown into it right away. I was ready for it. And I didn't really have any expectations, but when it came to Alex and Keanu, I felt that they were Bill and Ted right away. So you didn't have to convince me that they forgot how to play their characters.
Yeah, that part I did. It was just more the energy of it.
I understand what you're saying, but I just dove right into it. I thought it was great. It was paced very well. And I got to tell you, I got caught up at the end. I was getting emotionally drawn into it. And it was a good release after all the stress we've been dealing with lately, with what's been on the news, with COVID. I teared up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I was over on the couch eating some lunch while I was watching this. And I was just like, man, this is a feel-good film. I really enjoyed this.
It's definitely a feel-good film. There's no doubt about that. And it is fun. And I think when you put it, I think it was a good wrap up for this trilogy.
Definitely.
But I'm not going to lie. I would love to see the girls get their own movie.
Yeah. You know what? That would be good. I would be totally down for that. Yeah. What is it? What would it be? Billy and Thea in their own adventure? That'd be kind of cool,
Billy and Thea's Bodacious Adventure.
Maybe we get a little bit of robot action. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe something's gone wrong and the guys are too old at this point. So
it's, this is true. So tell me about some of your, we got your first reactions, Kyle. Tell me about some of your favorite scenes.
Honestly, anything with the girls, anything with their daughters. I thought that's where I got the energy from this time.
The daughters.
That's where I got the energy from, because it was something a little fresh. Not to say that Keanu and Alex didn't bring their own Bill and Ted energy to it, but I think that new energy that they brought.
Yeah, because they were really good. You bought who they were right away, you know.
Yeah.
And I do recommend, if you guys get the special features on this, there is the Comic-Con panel, which was done obviously through Zoom and because they couldn't go to Comic-Con, but it was hosted by Kevin Smith, and they had all cast there, and they talked to the girls about them prepping for the role. They hadn't seen Bill and Ted. They didn't, when they went into it not knowing who they were. And then of course, when they were cast, they obviously watched it. But I love the scenes too with them. I thought it was great. I love I think the scene in the beginning that I mentioned, where Bill and Ted have to kind of get real, and they realize that they were kind of failures, you know. And
that might have been it for me too, was when it opens up and we see them basically being the wedding singer. And that's kind of like, it's a little bit of a downer at the beginning of the film.
It is, but it's setting everything up. And I was pleased with the casting of the princesses, the wives. I think they had more screen time in this than the others did in the other films, pretty much.
Yeah, both. I think combined, they did.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely really good. Did you have any favorite quotes that we can remember? Who do you think had the best lines? We were laughing at the robot a lot.
No, the robot's got some scene-stealing lines. You know, I kind of gotta give it to the first version of Bill and Ted that we see. When they
the ones that are like 2 years ahead.
Yeah, the 2 years ahead. Those guys, that kind of steals it as far as just lines. I mean, then the 5-year English Bill and Ted are just so crazy. It's that, but I think the 2-year versions. And here we go now to the final scene after the credits.
We get old Bill and Ted in bed next to each other going, "Dude, are you dead? Are you dead?" And they like look at their hands. They're still alive. And Bill says, "There's one more thing that we need to do." Did you have an idea of what it was, Kyle?
I thought it'd be something along these lines. I was kind of almost half expecting, though, in this scene at the end of it, this like they would both like maybe it was like this, and would have them die, and not to end it on a bummer, but you know, that's like their last moment was them rocking out. But
so, do we want to take a quick little break here after this, because they're jamming out one more time here, and we get to see them do a little solo. But after this, we'll do a little break for the Fandom Podcast Network. We'll come back and wrap things up for some reactions.
Yep.
Okay.
As they're rocking it out.
I almost kind of expected them to keel over dead here, but I'm glad that they didn't.
I was expecting for keel. What I was expecting, honestly, was them to keel over dead and Death show up and go, "It's time, boys."
Okay, that would have been interesting. But we kind of get them to, they just get kind of tired and sit on their amps. One last jam for the Wild Stallions.
They still got it.
We still got it.
The high five doesn't go well for Bill.
I know. Bill's like, "Oh, that hurt.
Nurse.
I've got to sit down."
That was fun.
Well, if that's a way to go out, I guess that's a way to go out. All right, Kyle, go ahead and hit a break here. We'll be right back, guys.
Yep. While we wait for the nurse, here we go.
Thank you for listening. We hope you're enjoying this podcast. We like to continue to feed your ears by inviting you to listen to the Fandom Podcast Network and all of the other awesome shows we have to offer. It starts with our flagship show, Culture Clash, our weekly pop culture news podcast. Blood Kings, our Highlander podcast. Couch Potato Theater, our podcast celebrating our favorite movies. Time Warp, the Fandom Flashback podcast discussing a year in movies and our favorite pop culture topics. End Zone, the NFL podcast. Good Evening, an Alfred Hitchcock podcast. Union Federation, our Star Trek and Orville podcast. Hair Metal, the 80s and early 90s rock metal podcast. Type 40, our Doctor Who podcast. Lethal Mullet, a 1980s and 90s action film podcast. What a Piece of Junk, a Star Wars podcast. And our newest show, Making Treks, a new Star Trek podcast, with a deep dive into the final frontier with host Mark Newbold and Adam P. O'Brien. You can enjoy all of these great Fandom Podcast Network shows on our master feed at fpnet.podbean.com. Fandom Podcast Network is also on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. You can also find us on Facebook under Fandom Podcast Network. You can also email us at fandompodcastnetwork@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter under Fandom Podcast Network. Thank you for listening, and remember, respect others and enjoy your fandom.
All right, welcome back to Couch Potato Theater live presentation of our Bill and Ted Face the Music watch party. We just finished watching it. Thank you guys for those that are joining us and listening to us later. This was a lot of fun, Kyle. I just love that we got these characters back. I think this is the perfect way to end these character stories, wouldn't you say?
I would think so, but I like the fact that we do have a bit of an opening for future stories if they decide to do it.
This is true. I like the idea of the daughters having their own adventure. This would be great.
So I think Bill and Ted is classic. It's a great fun trilogy. It's going to always have this unique place in movie history. Obviously Keanu Reeves' success outside of Bill and Ted really helps with that. But, a big kudos to Keanu Reeves for returning to this role. Truthfully, I can't think of too many actors or actresses who would have returned to a role like this.
Well, he's always been a very humble guy, and this is something that he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and he's given away a lot of money as well. And he doesn't seem like he's one of the reasons why we like him is that because he doesn't seem that materialistic, and when he meets a good soul and people that he loves working with, and he knows how important these movies were to people. And I love the fact that no matter how big a star he got, especially with John Wick and of course The Matrix, he knew that this was a beloved franchise, and I'm glad that he came back. I did want to mention the director, Dean Parisot, I think that's how you say his name. He directed Bogus Journey.
Yes.
And they got him back, but people may know him more famously for the 1999 awesome film that we all love as Star Trek fans, Galaxy Quest. And it was nice to have him back. And of course, the original writers came back as well. But I thought that we would touch on a little bit of trivia here, Kyle. And I did want to mention that when Ted was playing the theremin, that weird, cool musical instrument with the wire at the wedding, and that Billy later mentions, how good you were on the theremin, and she mentions Clara Rockmore. And Ted goes, yes, I was, inspired by her. Clara Rockmore, actually, she was born in 1911 and she died May 1998. She actually knew Leon Theremin, the inventor of the theremin. And, she was a famous musician herself, but she was very good at playing the theremin. And I think she was born in Russia. But there's a whole history of, if you Google her or look her up on Wikipedia, I love the fact that they threw that out there as well. So, but, we got some decent trivia here. Not a lot of it's really, they haven't collected everything yet because the movie just came out here, but it says during filming in Louisiana, the cast and crew were often greeted by local residents. One day, Keanu Reeves noticed a sign on the lawn that read, "You're breathtaking." He stopped, got out of the car, went to the sign, and autographed it. After finding out to whom he signed and belonged to, he went to the family and posed for a photo with him. That tells you all you need to know about him, don't you think?
Yeah, pretty much.
So Alex Winter broke the news on February 2nd, 2019, that Bill and Ted was officially happening. And I believe they filmed it last summer, probably, I think, if I remember correctly. So as we mentioned earlier, Samara Weaving won the role of Thea in this movie after Keanu Reeves found out that she was the niece of Hugo Weaving. Keanu, of course, had been working with Hugo on the Matrix trilogy. I got to say, I was really impressed with her in this.
Yeah, she's very good. She's very up and coming. She's got some big roles coming up. She's going to be a name to watch.
Yes, and she's going to be, for you G.I. Joe fans out there, she's going to be playing Scarlet in the new Snake Eyes movie, which I'm really, really excited about. So just for a little reference here, this will be 31 years after the original Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure in '89 was released, and 29 years after Bogus Journey.
Is this the longest? Could this be the longest between films?
Yeah, like I guess a direct sequel.
Yeah,
right?
as far as a direct sequel.
Well, no, hold on. What about Blade Runner? Blade Runner was done in '81. That might have been a little bit longer, I think.
81, 91,
Yeah.
20,001. It's close. They're probably very, very close.
The alternative band rock band Weezer released an original song, Beginning of the End, Wild Stallions edit, as the first single for this film soundtrack on August 14th, 2020, which just happened recently. Weezer's first gig was a closing act for the alt band Dog Star in 1992, which Keanu Reeves was a member at that time. Do you remember that, Kyle, when he was being in the band doing the Rockstar thing?
There's one that I've always found interesting. The princesses Joanna and Elizabeth have never been played by the same actresses throughout the franchise. In Excellent Adventure, they were played by Kimberly LaBelle and Diane Franklin. And Bogus Journey, Sarah Trigger and Annette Azuki replaced them. And now Jama Maes and Aaron Hayes take the roles.
I kind of wish Diane Franklin came back. I was always a fan of her. You know, she was the French foreign exchange neighbor to John Cusack in Better Off Dead, and she was just really cute in that. So yeah. Of course, Keanu Reeves had to shave his beard in keeping with the tradition of Ted Logan, but he did keep his John Wick hair, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Great tribute for George Carlin in here. Kelly, who is Rufus's daughter in the film, that's also the name of George Carlin's real life daughter.
That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so it says this film served as a dedication to George Carlin, which I thought was really cool. So it says here, February 11, 2017, Keanu Reeves revealed the plot that time is breaking apart, so someone comes from the future to inform Bill and Ted supposed to write a song and save the world. I got to tell you, Kyle, I was very happy with the overall plot and story of this, because it wasn't just about Bill and Ted. As we mentioned during the commentary, it was about, you know, Thea and Billy as well doing their own adventure within an adventure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that was a big part of the idea of this movie, though, was that, you know, growth and a passing to the next generation, family, all those things. I think those were all important messages in this film.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, Kyle, I wanted to mention that in the Couch Potato Theater of Bill and Ted that we did with Murph, we talked about both the Bill and Ted films, and we mentioned that there was a cartoon series, and this is kind of getting on people's radar now. Not only was there a cartoon series, I think there's about 16 episodes. I was actually looking them up on eBay, and they're out of print. Obviously, they're not cheap. I saw like the cheapest volume at like $50. But there's also a television series.
Yeah, the live action TV series. I had no idea even existed.
Yeah, so, but I found a link through one of those Bill and Ted Facebook fan pages. Someone posted an interview with Alex Winter soon after it was released of Bogus Journey, and he was on the Arsenio Hall show as a guest. And Arsenio was asking him about, you know, what's it like going up against Terminator 2 and all this kind of stuff. He's like, well, you know, we found our audience and we're very happy with this sequel. And then Arsenio brings up the cartoon series, and they said, "Oh yeah, well, that was a lot of fun to do. Those were our voices." He says, and then there's this live action TV series that's happening. You know, what is your thoughts on that? And Alex says, well, in some cases, you know, a company will decide to make a production and not involve anyone from the actual movies. And so no one was involved with that TV series from the movies. And Arsenio asked if he saw it. And Alex was blunt and said, I want to be honest with you guys. It sucks. It's bad.
That sounds like Alex Winter.
So wrapping this up, Kyle, get your final thoughts, man. This was a lot of fun, and this was a first for us here on the Fandom Podcast Network. And this is one of the things we want to let people know is we're going to have exclusive stuff like this that you're not going to get in your podcast audio feed under the Fandom Podcast Network umbrella. Here we are, live YouTube, celebrating a momentous moment for movies with Bill and Ted, which was going to be a summer theatrical release. COVID, no. So now we're getting it on demand.
Nobody brought me any Twizzlers or Raisinets, Kevin.
I know. But hey, you know, I went to the Mexican food place over here, Cuco's, here up on the Mesa where I live. I was fine with that, man. It was a little less expensive too.
All I gotta say is thank God for non-smell-o-vision YouTube. No, okay. So all jokes aside, everything. This was fun. I think this was a great movie. I'm glad this is one of the first movies. I'm actually glad this actually came out before Tenet even comes out, because Tenet's going to be a totally different style of movie, and it's going to be very heavy. And I think people needed something that was light right now.
Right.
And granted, only a couple people are going to see this in the theaters because it's not hitting a lot of theaters right now. So it's going to be only a few people. But I think a lot of people, I'll be curious to see what the on-demand and the purchase numbers are for the streaming services and stuff once this hits. And I still think that this movie is going to be kind of telling what the success of this does, what the Disney Plus Mulan special thing that's happening, how that does.
Okay, so I want to clarify something real quick, Kyle. So we purchased this film to keep, and we get to keep it digitally. I think you could rent it at a lower price, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's like you could rent it for $20 or buy it for $24.99.
Yeah, and you and I bought it, so we own it. But I got a question for you, just to clarify. As we know, Mulan, which is coming out next week, if you have Disney Plus and you pay the $30, you still get to keep it on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, how that works is it's you own it as long as you have a subscription to Disney Plus, because the only place you can watch it is through the Disney Plus app.
If you don't watch it, then that way you pay the $30 and you only get to rent it for 24 hours, right?
I don't even think it's that. I think that's that Disney Plus is that's your only option.
Oh, so you have to have Disney Plus to watch it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's not hitting any on-demands or anything like that.
The reason I bring that up is this Bill and Ted. It's interesting that this is the film that's kind of testing the waters of how on demand's going to do. I hope it's successful for them. I hope they get enough revenue for this, combined with the limited theatrical run, that maybe this is way people can enjoy films if they don't want to go out to the theaters. Now, I do still recommend going out to the theaters and supporting the film and your local theaters, because I do like seeing the experiencing the theater itself. What say you, Kyle?
Well, I say what you need to do is tune into the next live edition of Culture Clash, because I'm going to discuss the theater going experience I had today in going to see the New Mutants.
New Mutants. Kyle went back to the theater. Which was the last movie you saw in the theater, Kyle?
Oh boy, the last movie I saw in the theater. That's a good question, because the problem was it was tax season when theaters closed up. So it was very hard for me to get to the theater.
I think for me, it might have been, I want to say, was it Bad Boys 3? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there was
I'm not counting the drive-in. I'm counting the actual theater, because I've been to the drive-in a few times over the last couple of months. But the theater, yeah.
I'm trying to remember, because we were talking about it. There was a really bad movie drought in February. This year. There was not a lot of stuff in the theaters that was to our interest.
I know I saw Bloodshot. With Vin Diesel as well. So yeah. But anyway, so let's see what happens here. I'm very curious to find out the numbers, if we'll get the numbers. I hope that you know, I mean, personally, I see myself buying this movie when it comes out on physical media. I'm definitely going to get a Blu-ray because I'm hoping that they'll have some other special features as well.
Yeah, well, see that. I mean, I'm gonna say that was kind of what was nice for me, is because I have a 4K TV. The version I get on iTunes is the 4K version.
Very nice. Very nice. Very cool. So, I was very happy with this film. I think it was, I think it's the movie we all need right now. A great escape, positivity. And, this movie actually exceeded my expectations. And I was looking up on early reviews. It's getting good reviews too, Kyle.
Yeah, you know, there is a thing with this movie that after the first time I watched it, I did kind of feel like I'm kind of glad it's coming out this way, because I don't know necessarily if it would have come when it would have come out just regular in the summertime because of everything else around it. A lot of people might have went and, oh, I'm just going to wait till it comes out on video, or I'm just going to wait until it comes out. So I think this is actually to the advantage of this film.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just want to thank everyone in the YouTube feed there. We're going to be doing this again with our live culture clash and some other exclusive programming on YouTube. And we always recommend that you join us in the chat. We'll give you a shout out and answer some of your questions as well. So Kyle, final thoughts, man, as we wrap this up.
It was a great film, and I think we should announce it now, Kevin, that the next live Couch Potato Theater, more traditional style Couch Potato Theater, in honor of the fact that Cobra Kai has released on Netflix this weekend. Sometime within probably the next week or two, Kevin and I will be doing a live YouTube exclusive edition of Couch Potato Theater, The Karate Kid.
Karate Kid. That's going to be fun going back to that. So
sweep the leg, Reitzel. Sweep the leg.
I'm going to have to watch Karate Kid 2 as well, because it's been a while since I've watched that. I've watched the Karate Kid, obviously, before, the season 2 came out of Cobra Kai, but we're going to get Cobra Kai season 3 next year. I'm going to guess probably earlier than later, hopefully.
I'm going to say within the first 6 months of 2021. Just
but
where they are filming.
If you haven't seen Cobra Kai yet, make sure you go to Netflix and check out season 1 and 2. You will be amazed. It is so good. So good.
Yeah. But this movie was fun. It was excellent. It wasn't bogus.
And I just want to say, this is one of my favorite collectibles. I'm showing up my original Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure collection. I did get Blu-ray versions of these, but this was a very cool box set that had another DVD of special features. A lot of fun, and I love these things too. I just love me some physical media, Kyle.
Yes, you do.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us here on the Fandom Podcast Network and the Couch Potato Theater special presentation of our Bill and Ted Face the Music live watch party on YouTube. Thank you everyone for listening and for watching. Please subscribe again to us on YouTube. We very much appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle. This has been fun, man.
It is always the most excellent of time podcasting or YouTube living with you, Kevin.
Yes. Be excellent to you.
Yep. Enjoy your fandom.
That's right. Party on. Until next time, we will see you on the couch. Goodbye, everyone.
Excellent!